Hi, I want to share with you a personal story of an area of my life that has been unconsciously holding me back from me living fully, from me being the ignited soul that I know that I am, from me truly deciding to create my legacy, meaning bring to others the work that I know in my soul that I'm here to do. It is said that potentially each of us has an area, at least, of life that can be the greatest source of our evolution. And if we do not hold great awareness in that aspect of our life can actually be the source of who we believe we are, of what we think we are possible, or what we are capable of doing, or of what we think is possible for us. Meaning that we are unconsciously sourcing our identity through this aspect of our life. And to share this personally, my own personal story, and to share this publicly, feels uncomfortable. And it is also me choosing to put down shame that I have held in relation to this. So the area of my life that is my place of, let me say it this way, this area of my life that I get to hold myself in my greatest power is my finances. This is a big topic for everybody. For not everybody, for a lot of people. Finances, wealth, money, all of it. This is not me coming out as a wealth coach or anything like that. This is me and my personal story. Over the last number of years, finances have been a struggle for me. My lifelong journey with finances have been up and down. There have been times where it's been fine and I've had enough or a little bit more than enough, and there have been times where I have not. And it has come to the forefront mostly being somebody who was choosing to bring herself or my own work to life for others. So as an acupuncturist and as a coach and all of that, this is where it has surfaced the most. The old stories or beliefs that I have in my system, what society quote unquote says is possible, all of it, you know it. But what I have come to realize recently in my own story, in my own evolution, in my own journey, is that I have very unconsciously been sourcing my identity, been sourcing what I believe is possible from financial lack or perceived financial lack, and at times real financial lack. And what I have realized is that I've been holding back on sharing all of me, in the sense of sharing all of my vitality, my abilities, my legacy, because of the shame that I have held in relation to that. I have allowed that to define me. I have allowed thoughts of, I'm not good enough. How can I be a powerful coach if I am holding this still in my system? How can I be somebody who is working with people on the level of soul and still have issues like this in my life? And what I've realized is it's that looping energetically with trying to fix the problem instead of coming back to the truth of the work that I do with others, coming back to my own soul identity, to define myself from that level, to source myself from the peace and the power that exists at that level, and to move from there, to take steps and actions from there that will shift my external reality. But that very heavy frequency of shame, of guilt, of embarrassment, of self-judgment was blinding me to that, blinding me to the truth of what was actually going on. The reason I'm sharing this, as I said, is to free myself from heavy frequency, from heavy emotions that I don't need to live by. It's me claiming my original self yet again in a whole new way. It is the first step at a new level of who I am, to bring my work, to bring my legacy to others, to lead myself through what is a very uncomfortable area of life, to know that I can still be a powerful space where wisdom is created, so that the power and evolution of my clients can still and does exist. And I heard this recently by a very powerful woman in our industry, that my becoming is not the becoming of the business. And what's just come to mind now, that my becoming is not the becoming of another. What I perceived others would think of me has held me back. Needing, quote unquote, things to be different first has held me back. I've been waiting for the external world to change so that I could feel better. And that is the opposite of what I speak about. That's the opposite of the work that I do. You are the source of who you want to be. Soul and God is here right now, no matter what, placing all its focus on us now. And this is where I get to decide who it is that I am, and let everything else go. Not to avoid what's going on in reality, quote unquote, but to be at the peak of your power and the peak of your peace, so that you can move in alignment with soul, so that you can make moves that matter and that shifts things for you. Is that always easy? No, it is not. But when we choose to come back to this for ourselves over and over and over, and release all that is not truth, let it all dissolve, no matter what our mind or our body is screaming at us, letting it go. This is how we then get to live as an ignited soul, and to be the source of who it is that you want to be. So whether your area of life is finances, is relationships, is health, is business, is something else, whatever it may be, and if it's not moving for you, and therefore potentially other things aren't moving for you, come back into yourself. And to give a very brief example of how this shifted another area of my life, it was relationships. I was holding myself in the lack of relationship. I was holding myself in a frequency of, I will never find love. And one day I made the decision. I decided to drop all of that. I decided to let it all go, to come back into myself, into the truth of who I am, to choose to be the one for myself, to choose myself no matter what, to be open and available for the level of love and relationship that I want, it all changed. And a month to 6 weeks later, this amazing man came into my life. And he's still in my life and will be in my life. And no matter what is going on in that relationship, the points of agitation or the points of pleasure or whatever it might be, I still source myself from soul, so that I can be the greatest, fullest woman in that relationship for him and as we grow together. And therefore not to blame him for things, not to blame myself for things, but to be real and awake and alive in it. So where is there an area of your life that you're trying to fix, instead of moving yourself back into your soul identity, back into your creator identity, the truth of who you are, into your greatness? Are you willing to pull all of your energy back out of that, back into yourself, so that you can move as who it is that you truly are? You get to do this. You are wired for this. Nobody who does this is more special than anybody else. This is who we are. We are divinity in human form, meaning we can transcend any perceived limitation. You are soul. This is your truth. It is your true identity. And we get then to live as ignited souls, as ignited human beings, living heaven on earth, should we choose to. What has this brought up for you? And just before I finish, I just want to celebrate myself for sharing this. A little bit all over the place, because to share this is the release of big shame out of my life, out of my system. We don't need to do this publicly, but I'm choosing to lead myself because I want to and do lead others. But I'm doing this in my unique way and what is right for me, what feels good in my system. That's why I'm doing this. So let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Bye for now.